Whilst our adversarial system of politics works well in many ways, and I'm sure the politicians in the room would go out of their way to convince us about that, there are also several long-standing issues that will never be resolved without some form of consensus and which stand in the way of economic progress. It is that spirit of consensus that soars through the pandemic that should be rekindled so that we can face the many challenges together and in an attempt to resolve some of these issues in the best interests of our community as a whole. As we approach Budget Week in a couple of weeks' time, and as we reflect on the cost of the pandemic and the financial burden placed on this community, it has to be said that it is only right and just that the business community should contribute towards the cost, but this should be fair and proportionate. There are some that hold the view that there is still much scope to squeeze more out of the private sector. Ultimately, it is a question of balance, but the words efficiency, productivity, and value for money must be foremost in our minds as we as a community move forward and face the future.
And when people try and persuade you to change the lead poker player at the table, you might want to tell them that in the last weeks of the match, when they're about to deal the cards for the last round of poker, there's only one team that knows exactly what each gesture the officials opposite do when they're lying and when they're trying to trick us, when their eyebrows go up and when they touch their noses. This year, we have already restored financial stability. We will be predicting an estimated 2.5 million surplus for the end of this financial year, years ahead of what we believed was possible, years ahead. That is down to you, to your work, to the taxes that you pay, which are the revenue that the government receives, and to what I believe is our prudent financial management of the economy.